Hello there. It's a nice sunny December day, and I'm on the road on the Greater Noida Expressway, and I'm driving the Mercedes Benz A-Class sedan, the A200D to be specific, 43 and a half lakhs worth of entry-level Mercedes Benz sedan. And while this competes against the BMW 220D Grand Coupe, um, it's not so much about the competition between the BMW and the Merc. The question becomes more whether it makes sense buying an entry level luxury Mark and a sedan at that. I mean, I know there's a SUV obsession. I see more X7s and GLSs than I see S classes and 7 Series cars nowadays. But the fact of the matter is, does it make sense buying a car like the A200D over, say, the GLA 220D? Um, and I have to admit, personally, I love sedans. They handle better. By the way, if you keep on hearing the speed beep go off, that is because it's 100 km/h limit road, so I am not breaking the speed limit at all. And in Mercs and BMWs, believe me, the 120 km/h speed alarm is extremely irritating on both brands. Particularly so when you go on roads like the Eastern Peripheral and the Western Peripheral highways, where the speed limit is actually 120 km/h. Those alarms don't stop if you put the car at cruise control at 120. They will keep on beeping. I tend to keep most cars at about 117 or 118 because there are times, dips and rises, that the speed, even on a cruise control, even on a very, very good car, can go up by 1 or 2 kilometers. But that's another debate. We are back to this one. Would you consider buying luxury brand sedan such as the A200D from Mercedes or the BMW? How may I help you? See, that's the other problem with this car. Nothing, thank you very much. Both cars will cost close to 50 lakhs on the road. They both come completely fully loaded. Very honestly, I love that Mercedes has put the same screen and MBUX layout that you get on the C, the E, and the S. Smaller screen, all right, but still very nice. You get the AC vents with the little LED lighting inside. I love the lighting that Mercedes puts out. I think it's the best in the segment. They have these LED strips over here and here, and they have multicolor LED animation, which is something I really genuinely like about the Mercs. I think the Merc does the ambient lighting better than any other brand in the world right now. I mean, yes, you can get Kia's dancing lights, which I discovered on the Sonnet, but I really like Merc's lights at night, and I'll put a picture of that. It's really, really nice. It makes the car enjoyable when you want to drive it at night. Okay, so as you can see right now, these entry-level sedans aren't what you would call spacious. Now, the front passenger seat is pushed all the way in front because I've got my son's infant carrier over there. That said, rear legroom is not bad. So if you bought this car, which is the W177 code, internally in the manufacturer, it's pretty much the same size or very similar size to the W203 and the W204 Mercedes C-Class. So, I mean, this car has definitely grown. So, just as the C-Class has grown, so has the A-Class. But this is a front-wheel drive car. It's a very, very nice car to drive. Make no mistakes. It's a bit down on power. It's about 170 PS compared to the 190 PS output you get on the BMs. But, when I'm on a road like this, I'm driving at the limit. And even though I'm not traveling with my son today, I genuinely have noticed ever since I had a kid, I tend to drive a bit more gingerly than I would have, not just when he's in the car, but generally in life as well. You tend to be a bit more responsible as a driver. Again, there's something else we can talk about. The thing is, when I'm spending close to 50 lakhs, and on the road these cars do cost close almost 50 lakhs, and they're diesel at that, and I'm in the NCR, they both have decent petrol options. The Mercedes has the A200, and the BMW has the 220i. Both are slightly cheaper than the diesels. Would it make sense to buy this sedan over other choices you get in the second? Of course, if you're looking at space for 50 lakhs, you might want to take a look at, say, the Skoda Superb, which is cheaper, which would be almost almost 10 lakhs cheaper on the road, or the Skoda Octavia car. I mean, in terms of driving ability, I know the Skoda only comes in the petrol option, but I would say that I would possibly take the Octi over the Superb, and that would be almost 15 lakhs cheaper on the road. So those are the Skodas. Now again, Skoda doesn't, like the entire Volkswagen group, they do not offer you any diesel options, so there is that. But even in the SUV space, you have the new Tucson coming later this year. You have lots of other choices. You might even look at the Audi Q2 for all you know. You have the Volkswagen Tiguan and the Skoda Kodiaq, again cheaper than these cars. So Audi doesn't have the A3 right now, so there's no competitor from Audi in the sedan space. But these are issues you have to think of. So when you're buying an entry-level sedan like this, you're essentially buying this three-pointed star or the blue and white spinner. You're not buying performance, because if you're buying performance, I would seriously suggest just buy the Skoda Octi, because it's a better car in every respect, because that's also front-wheel drive, much better engine, much more power, and much more fun to drive. The Octi doesn't have a sunroof. So if sunroof is a major factor, the Octi lead up does not have a sunroof. The Slavia will have a sunroof. So there is that when it comes to sedans. And you also, honestly, as I said, for space, there is the Superb, there is the Tiguan, there is the Kodiaq. So you're not buying a car like this for performance. Let's be honest. You're buying it because of the badge. And over there, I cannot doubt you, because everybody to each their own. I mean, at the end of the day, landing up in a Mercedes, at a party, at a hotel, or a BMW for that matter, you're showing that you've arrived. And, it's a statement. It's, some people do like knock, the pride of coming in a Merc or a BM, or buy these cars with the badge. The other question about buying a car like this, the A-Class or the 2 Series, is that they're not so far away from the C-Class or the 3 Series. I mean, for not that much more. Of course, we live in a very, very interesting time where there are virtually car deliveries are a major problem. So you're not getting deliveries for love of money in many brands, so much so that I'm told that a lot of the press fleet cars of all these manufacturers have been withdrawn so that they can be sold. So it's that bad. They've actually, a car like this, which has done almost 20,000 kilometers, will be withdrawn soon and sold on the second-hand market. It's very well maintained, and it's still in very, very good nick, despite being only driven around since February. So there is that. So I don't think, would I buy something like the A-Class or the 2 Series? Maybe not.
How may I help you?
I would possibly upgrade one higher, maybe get a 320i or even a 330i. I really like the petrol engines that Mark gives, not Mark, BM gives. So there is that. So yeah. But if you want a badge, and you don't want to spend too much money, and you want a sedan, because keep in mind easiest way to get a badge right now is actually the BMW X1. It's not, and it's one of the few cars that BMW is not having too much of a crisis in production with. So every manufacturer is having a production issue right now. So keeping that in mind. Things are relatively good for most, for the X1. The two GC and this, well, delivery positions aren't so bad as yet, so I'm told. But I would buy, if I had to spend this kind of money and I didn't have more to spend, I'd probably get an Octavia or a Superb, or if I wanted an SUV, I'd probably get a Kodiaq. But if I really wanted to get a BMW or Merc, I would buy one level higher. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this car. Thank you so much for watching. We'll try to do a couple more videos soon. So yeah, do keep watching for more and do subscribe. Do leave your comments and do share this with your friends. I really appreciate that. It makes a world of difference to me. Thanks again.